What's happening? Where am I?
Nurse! Someone help! I've got a wounded soldier here!
What's happened?
He went over the top. Wounded his leg. Think he was shot.
The wound is probably already infected. We can't take the bullet out, it's lodged deep in. There's only one option.
Hello.
What happened?
You were shot. I carried you back to the hospital.
Oh.
I'm sorry, John. We had no choice.
What do you mean? You saved my life. Why are you sorry?
The wound was infected by the time you got back. There was only one course of action we could take.
What are you talking about? Oh, please. No.
I'm so sorry, John. We had no choice. We had to amputate your leg.
The Doctor. The Blue Box. We have control of the time streams. The power of the three streams is unparalleled. I must have it.
Get out of my head.
Morning.
Good sleep?
Not really. I slept on the floor without a pillow. Woke up about a dozen times.
It's nothing compared to what the men on the front have to deal with.
No, I suppose not. So, there's no way of finding them? John and the Doctor?
They're not here. I've looked through all the files, couldn't find anything.
But you saw the portal. You saw the Doctor.
I also saw myself. I don't know what to think.
I have to find John. If anything's happened to him.
It's the woman. And I'm there.
Doctor! Doctor, can you hear me?
Mary, you can hear me now?
Yes, Doctor, I can. What's going on? What's happening?
I can't be entirely certain. Is that Nurse Oliver with you?
Yes. Is she also with you?
What's going on? How are you there? I was going to ask you the same thing.
Wait, what time did you arrive here, Mary?
It was about 4:10.
Same as me. Okay. Where did you land? Was it in a field hospital?
Yes, it was.
So you arrived at the same time and place as me, but we didn't step out together. And what are those portals? We can't cross over. I already burned myself trying. This is proving complicated. Think, Doctor, think.
I don't understand, Doctor.
No, neither do I.
What was that?
This portal is about to close. Oh, that's it! It's not a portal. It's a window. A time window.
Doctor! No!
What did she say? A time window? What's that?
I don't know. And now I'm stuck in a battlefield. All I wanted to do today was see my great-great-great-great-granddad, but no! The TARDIS can't even manage that without all of us getting split up.
You're... how many great-granddad?
Oh, it doesn't matter. We've probably missed him as well.
I think it does matter. Are you trying to say you're from the future?
Yes. 2089. That's where I'm from. The blue box I walked out of, it's a time and space machine. Can go anywhere, anytime. Usually it's pretty fantastic.
You know, the strangest thing, I believe you.
That's what happens when you're with the Doctor.
What was he called?
The Doctor.
Your ancestor. What was his name?
Oh, Thomas. Thomas Kelly.
Sergeant Kelly?
Yes. Do you know him?
He's here. He's stationed on the front lines.
Of course he is. Why didn't I think of that?
Do you want to meet him?
I'm not sure. I'd like to, but it feels like that could just cause more issues. Something is already going very wrong with time. Talking to my ancestor feels like it could make things even worse.
Well, I could talk to him. Say anything you want me to.
I don't think there's anything I can say. Not yet. Something needs to happen first. I wanted to see which version of history was correct.
What are you on about?
It's a very long story.
We've got the time.
Fine, I'll tell you. But it's going to sound really strange.
This is the most peculiar day of my life. I feel I'll be able to listen to whatever you have to tell me.
I need to find this Thomas Kelly. He's the reason we came here. Maybe he's the reason we can't find each other.
I don't understand what's going on.
Neither do I entirely.
What was the thing we could see through? I saw myself.
Yes, it was a time window. They're a naturally occurring phenomena. They only happen once in a planet's history. I've never even seen one before. Even with the TARDIS, you can't intentionally visit one, as it's very difficult to pick the exact right moment.
So how did these time windows occur?
People don't know. I remember the professor teaching me about them back in the academy. Nobody ever had a strong understanding of them. They happen so rarely and are difficult to document. Trying to visit one is harder than trying to find a particular grain of sand in a desert. I need to find out how they occur and find a way to find my friends. There's still no sign of John. Okay, review the facts. We came to investigate a point of history which had a few differing accounts to see which was correct.
Sorry, you're not making any sense.
A habit of mine. One very difficult to shake, believe me.
By different accounts, what do you mean?
A soldier dies with a grenade in his hand, but then a few days later is seen walking into the fields of battle by his comrades. His mother never accepts that he died and walks all over London to find him. The truth is, he should have never died. He should have been home. Oh, but what if... Does that work? I'm not sure.
Does what work?
I think I might have a theory. But first things first. Do you know a Sergeant Kelly? A Sergeant Thomas Kelly?
Yes, I do.
Where is he?
He's gone home. He was given his week's leave.
Okay, that's good. It helps my theory at least.
Can you explain what's going on?
The time windows could take place around temporal hotspots. What if they occur where paths diverge? Where different choices could easily have led to entirely different outcomes?
Surely that happens all the time.
Of course it does. Every decision you make has repercussions, a million different outcomes. But what if your ancestor came back to see what happened? I should have known it was a bad idea, bringing them back. But I think we created the time windows just by coming here. 3 timelines are running simultaneously. One is this one, where Thomas Kelly left. I can only assume he's somewhere in the other 2. He survives in 2, but dies in 1. That seems likely. I'm going to need to sew time back up. I can't allow 3 time streams to run like this. God knows what'll happen. It needs to be corrected.
How would you do that? What's the event that needs to happen?
I don't know if I'm right in this, but I'm almost certain. Thomas Kelly has to die.
I don't understand. What happened? I remember going over the top, but after that it's all a blur.
Well, you didn't go that far. You were hit after about 10 paces. You were lucky I managed to get you back to the trenches.
I can't say I feel lucky.
You're still breathing. Out here, that's as lucky as we can get.
I shouldn't be here. I should never have come.
How did you get here? You arrived alone? No other soldiers came with you?
It's complicated.
Clearly. The captain reckons you're a spy. Well, think about how it looks. You arrive out of thin air, and there's no better place to hear the secrets than in a medical bay.
What's so secret about sending 100 men over the top to their deaths every hour?
Fair point. It's not the most secretive plan when you've tried the same thing every day for 2 years across 400 miles of front line.
How do you do it?
Do what?
Fight. In this war. I mean, what's the point?
It's my duty.
To kill?
The enemy? Yes. It's for my country. For my king.
Is that worth it?
No. No, it's not. The amount of men who have lost their lives, it's not worth it. 2 years of stalemate? Who knows how much longer? How does it feel?
Sorry?
The leg.
Oh. I don't know. You see, I know it's not there, I can see that, but I keep going to move it, to shift it. Obviously I can't.
Phantom limb. That's what it's called. I've heard a few of the men mention it.
I just want to go home. I just want to see my wife.
You're married?
Yes,
What's their name?
Mary.
Do you have any children?
No. Never got round to that. What about you?
Married. Kelly's her name.
She's Kelly.
Yes. She wasn't too keen on the surname. Newspapers did a little piece about her.
I can imagine. I really shouldn't be here.
So you keep saying.
I'll show you how I got here if you like. It won't make much sense. Or any, for that matter.
Okay.
Look, you probably won't believe me, but it's that box over there.
What box?
Blue police box. Over there.
Yeah. What about it?
It's how I got here. It's been years since I said this. It's a time machine. I'm from the future. Get me some crutches and I can show you.
Okay. I'll let you prove your point. The nurse dropped some off earlier when you were asleep. Do you need some help getting up?
Just hand me the crutches. I can get myself up.
Here you go.
There we go. Alright then. I don't know if we'll be able to get back in. I couldn't earlier, but it's worth a try.
So you say that it's a time machine?
Yes.
And you're from the future?
Yes.
Well, in that case, I have something to ask you. Do we win? This war, do we win?
Nobody wins. You're fighting in the most pointless war in history. It all ends in 2 years. You'll think you've won, then 20 years later it all starts again. A soldier on the other side of the battlefield becomes the worst man in history. Some could say that the second war is worth it, but all that this leads to is that. Come on.
You can't expect me to believe that.
Doesn't matter if you do. The future will still unfold that way.
But surely we can change it. It's not yet happened.
I don't know. I don't think so. I've heard of fixed points. I can't imagine changing the course of the 20th century is a wise thing to do. The TARDIS. Go on. See if it opens.
My God!
So now you're working. Why weren't you before? It's quite remarkable, isn't it? I remember when I first saw it. I ran around the box 3 times. I was a student then. A long time ago.
Could have mentioned it was bigger on the inside.
The doctor calls it dimensionally transcendental.
What does that mean?
It means bigger on the inside. I've travelled through space and time in this. When I got here, I stepped out with the doctor and Mary. Then we were separated. That's never happened before.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. I can't make sense of it. If I had any idea of what was going on, I wouldn't have gone over.
I'm sorry. It's my fault. You should never have come here. It's all my fault.
No. We came here for one reason, and that was... well, never mind. There's nothing that can be done, so that's that.
This place, it defies everything.
Yeah. That does just about sum it up.
So, the Great War is pointless.
Tragic waste of life and potential.
What's that?
I don't know. I think it's the intercom. If you press that button, it'll pick it up.
Okay. Hello, this is Sergeant Kelly. Who am I talking to?
Sergeant Kelly, this is the doctor. Where are you?
I'm in the TARDIS, I think that's what you call it.
How did you get in?
I opened it. I don't know why it worked now.
The streams are closing. Time is restoring itself. The TARDIS isn't as scared.
What do you mean?
We're all in the same place, John. A second out of sync with each other, effectively in alternate realities.
So, how do we fix it? How do we find each other?
We need to ensure the fixed point happens. It has to happen.
What has to happen?
Why did we come here, John?
Oh, I see.
Time must be maintained. Those who die like that cannot be helped.
What are you talking about?
John, do you understand me?
Yes, Doctor.
Good. I'll see you soon.
What's going on? What has to happen? Who has to die?
Come on. We need to get out of here.
You owe me an explanation.
And I'll give you one when I know how to word it. Now, come on.
What are you? How are you in my head? Leave me alone.
Nurse, it's me. It's the doctor. What's wrong?
Don't come in. You can't help me.
I can. What's wrong?
I don't know. Something's inside my head. A voice, an entity.
Who's there? Who's using this body?
I am the last of my kind. We were murdered by your own race, Doctor.
Yeah? Who would that be?
I am a time reaper.
Of course. I should have worked that one out sooner. Time windows and alternate time streams. Why would you be anything else? It's your feeding ground.
This moment, this war, it has so many outcomes, so much potential, so much death. A single death has given me enough energy to gain back some strength. The longer it goes on, the more powerful I get.
What have you done to Nurse Oliver?
She is a shame. I can give her life, but without me she will perish.
I command you to let her go.
You have the arrogance of your kind, Doctor. Your race betrayed mine.
What do you mean by that?
The Time Reapers came to assist the Time Lords. You let us be caught and murdered by the Daleks. I was the sole survivor of the ambush.
We had no idea. It was only after the ambush we found out you were ever on your way.
I see your timeline, Doctor. I have never met a being with so much potential. The sheer volume of alternatives in your life. The guilt of your mistakes. Allowing your twin to die. Your betrayal of the Fableman.
If you are here to lecture me on my past...
The day the Professor died. Killed by the Daleks.
Don't.
Don't what?
Make me your enemy. I can help you. Your race and mine once lived in peace. Let today be the start of a second chance.
I could save him, Doctor. The Professor could survive. I can alter the course of history.
Not that day. Never that day. The Professor knew what he was doing. He died so that Gallifrey would win, so that the Time Lords would beat the Daleks.
No, Doctor. He died for you.
What do you want?
Dominion, Doctor. Dominion over time and space. The Reapers stood back for too long. When we were last found, our leaders sought to maintain time. Like your people, we swore to never interfere.
For good reason. Your abilities could shape the universe. Nobody should have the power to decide who lives and dies. Now I suggest you take me up on my offer of peace. I can take you somewhere else. The potential of an empty world. You could be Emperor. You could shape and forge a new civilization, but you leave humanity alone. These people are not your playthings.
Oh, Doctor, you disappoint me. I'd hoped you'd be smarter. It's too late anyway. The time streams are split, and soon they won't be able to be healed.
I wouldn't be so sure. You might want to open one of those time windows.
I can't control them. Not yet.
Of course not. Not accurately. But you can look in. So why don't you check on it? You know the point of diversion as well as I do. It's the reason I came here. What's happened to John? Why is he on crutches?
Don't you know, Doctor? You went over the top. You were shot in the leg. Very bad injury. And he got taken to hospital where he had it amputated.
John! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He didn't even mention it. He's taken Thomas right back to the trench. Please don't go over again, John. You can't do it.
Can't hear you, Doctor. This window is a one-way visual. So, I say we watch. Find out.
Why did you come here? You're not going over. Even Field Marshal Haig wouldn't send a one-legged soldier over the top.
Thomas, the reason I came here to this time was you. My wife wanted to meet you.
Did she? Why?
Because she's your descendant. Not just that, she wanted to know what happened to you. You see, there are a few differing accounts.
What are you talking about?
You die, Tom. You have to die.
I don't...
There is no nice way to tell someone they're going to die. The thing is, a few days after you're seen walking in no man's land, singing a song, and your body is never found. Your mum never believes you die. She'll search for you in vain for the rest of her life.
Who are you?
I've told you. I'm a history teacher from the future. I travelled here in a blue box that is bigger on the inside. And I'm sorry, but you need to go over today. Time is being played with. It can only be mended by your death.
I have to go.
I'm sorry.
Get out of the trenches. Get back to the camp. Find your wife. That's all I need from you.
Not yet. I need to see this.
Take positions, everyone!
Thomas! I'm sorry, but you need to do this.
God help us.
This is it. When that man dies, you will have lost.
How can you know that?
Because I came here to see it, and I think I've worked it out.
What do you mean?
You might not want to watch this. He's got the grenade out. Only a few seconds left.
I'm sorry, Kelly. I'm so sorry. God help me.
Doctor, what's happening?
Thomas Kelly just died. He's destroyed the time streams. We're back in sync. And Nurse Oliver's with you, I see.
What's that?
A time reaper. It was just using your body as a vessel, but it's let go.
It was a voice in my head.
Of course. You were its anchor. It had to have someone who was in all three time streams. I'd be willing to bet you were the only one on the front line who experienced all three.
It hurts. My head has got too many memories.
It'll calm down. Just give it time.
Doctor, you have killed me.
I didn't do anything.
The blood of my race is on your hands.
I offered you an alternative. I offered you peace. You turned it down. So this is your punishment.
You must save me.
Save a creature who wanted to play God? Never. You are the worst of your kind.
The worst of yours will catch you, Doctor. The worst of the Time Lords is not far behind. The worst of your enemies will find you soon.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Doctor, it's dead.
Right. We need to get back. We'll meet John at the TARDIS, although I should warn you about something, Mary. I think something will remain the same. I don't think I'll be able to undo it.
What do you mean?
I can't explain it. Not in a way that'll make sense anyway.
Nothing ever does with you.
What I can say is the reason there are so many differing accounts is simple. Remnants of the time window seep through into the main timeline. That's why he'll be out there tomorrow, singing in no man's land.
You're right. That doesn't make any sense.
Nurse Oliver, I think it's time we said goodbye.
I think that's for the best. This has been a very weird day or so.
That's often the case with me. Goodbye.
Goodbye and thank you. You were a great help for me.
I did what I had to do. Goodbye, Mary.
Why were we not able to get into the TARDIS, Doctor?
I think we all tried to get in at the same moment. 3 people entering a time machine at the same time. Well, the TARDIS didn't like it, so it locked itself. Only for a minute, but we lost interest.
All of this could have been avoided if I'd just waited.
Coming into land now. Back to your lives.
Except it's not, is it? Nothing's ever going to be the same for me. I mean, how do I explain that I lost a leg one evening?
Look, John.
No, Doctor. This isn't something you get to apologise for. I didn't want to go on this trip. I'm very lucky I've made it back.
The moment I realised that was going on, I tried to reach you.
That took you way too long a time. Doctor, you don't get to leave and drop back at a moment's notice. 10 years have passed for us. Our lives have changed. We're not the people who you left. We were students when you left us.
John's right, Doctor. You can't do this to us.
Listen to me. I did not leave you two because I wanted to. I love travelling with you. I went back because I had to. I was called back to Gallifrey.
Back to your home? Why?
A war had begun. The Daleks invaded Gallifrey. They weren't a serious threat and the Time Lords won the war, but cities were severely damaged. The planet still hasn't recovered. It's expected to be a few thousand years before it does. But they invaded because of me. To take revenge on me. I should have seen it coming. I helped bring about their demise. So they targeted my home. I may have renounced the Society of the Time Lords, but I had to help. It was under attack because of me. I've always pledged to help. So I went home. I fought the Time War, and I won. The Daleks were beaten. They were destroyed. The Time Lords made sure every last one was beaten. Skaro was blown to pieces, but it wasn't without fatalities. It was the last day of the Time War, the last great battle of Arcadia. I should have led that legion, but there was another task. I handed command to the Professor. It should have been me that day that went into battle, not him. Straight into a trap, slaughtered by the Daleks. His whole platoon. I found him later in the medic bay. I wasn't there when he died. He supposedly died in battle, fighting with everything left in him, until he could fight no more. That was the last day of the Time War. So that's where I've been, fighting to save my planet.
I'm sorry, Doctor.
No, I'm sorry. I just wanted to see my friends again, but I think that time has passed us by.
I think you're right, Doctor. Well, goodbye, Doctor.
I don't suppose I'll see you again, Doctor.
I think it's best if not.
All right. Farewell, Doctor.
Farewell, Mary. Farewell, John. Right then, I suppose it's just you and me. Old gal.